secondary pass candidate used to get appointed as a school teacher, LP school teacher, or a person with a graduate degree used to get appointed as a school teacher. But the scenario has completely changed. And then the academia of the country are saying that teaching is a special profession. It cannot be given to any candidate who has just acquired some degree or diploma. A teacher needs to be trained, and for that, the National Council of Teacher Education, they have qualification are that there has to be a teacher eligibility test conducted by the appropriate state government. One has to pass that qualification. Number two, for elementary education, at least diploma in elementary education is a requirement. And for secondary section, one has to get the BA degree. But the situation continues to be changing, and we are going to have a new education policy. And what we will get in the new education policy is there will not be any DLM diploma in future. In next 2 years' time, up to another next 2 years, we are permitted to hold DLM courses. After that, we will stop DLM courses. So everyone will have to acquire BA degree. Then BA is also going to be abolished. This BA degree is going to be abolished in 2030. After 2030, the BA degree will be there, but that will have to be an integrated BA course degree. What we mean by integrated BA course is that it will have to be a 5-year course. Integrated means other like BA, BSc subjects shall have to be incorporated, not just only education. So after 2030, we will all require integrated BA degree course, and for that we need to prepare ourselves from right now. BA degree, it will be like we have the MBBS degree for the doctors, we have the LLB degree for the lawyers. Similarly, in line of those professional courses, teaching is going to be a profession at par with medical or LLB or engineering. And for that, BA degree, BA course will be 5 years in the future. We need to prepare for that. Secondly, the matter of provincialization, yes, we had a Provincialization Act 2017 and we amended in 2018. Many schools have been left out. There are issues that mostly in the tribal areas, tribal inhabited areas, schools, colleges were started very lately, and many such schools, colleges, they didn't fit to the Provincialization Act of 2017. Therefore, after examining this program, they also played a very vital role in convincing the earlier education minister, Dr. Sharma, who was then education minister and now chief minister of Assam. We all together, we impressed upon the honorable education minister, and after getting impressed, after getting understanding the scenario, particularly in the tribal areas, because I was also at that time, I was simply an MLA, and as an MLA, I have a huge problem in Dhimadi district like you have in Karbi. So together we impressed upon the Honorable Education Minister, and for that matter he declared in the last assembly session of the previous government that need-based thing. Government will in future consider provincialization of some more schools and colleges on need basis. Now what is that need basis? That is yet to be determined. Yesterday we had a meeting with Honorable Chief Minister regarding the higher secondary and SSLC examination. All Bodu Students Union, they were present, and after the end of the meeting, AFSU also raised this thing, this need basis thing in front of Honorable Chief Minister, and he assured again the government will consider this, and we are now working out what is the need basis, what is the need. Is it a distance criteria alone, or it is the enrollment criteria. So everything will be taken into consideration and we will not be very late. We will start it very soon, rest assured. Government is very sympathetic and government has understood this education scenario, particularly in the tribal areas. And as someone raised one demand about the teachers' hostel in the remote areas, we have already decided, Government of Assam, after I assumed office, we have already decided to take up construction of teachers' hostel in remote areas. Now again, remote areas we are defining. So together with the council, in the coming year, we will be constructing teachers' hostel in hilly areas, in riverine areas. Hilly areas and riverine areas. Yes, including teachers' staff quarter and all. So that thing is coming up. Then the matter of Karbi language or Dimasa language or Tiwa language. We have already during the previous government adopted a language policy to incorporate institutional education in tribal languages. We have already adopted a policy. The new education policy also says that elementary education should be in mother tongue. And we have already in our, the textbooks are prepared by State Council of Educational Research and Training. Textbooks are prepared by the State Council, Directorate of State Council of Educational Research and Training. And then these textbooks are printed and published by Assam State Textbook Production and Publication Corporation. So in our last meeting of SCERT, we have decided to produce, to prepare elementary education, particularly to begin with class 1 and 2, books in every tribal languages. We have already printed, because there was a pressure, there was one demand that the tea garden students, they doesn't understand the Assamese language, and so they have this Sadri language. Because of their pressure, we started, last year we printed some books in Sadri languages. Sadri language, so that these boys in the tea garden can understand what is being taught. Similarly, we have decided to produce elementary education books in Karbi language, Missing language, Dimasa language, in every language. And therefore, I request Karbi Ame and other concerned people to prepare the books in Karbi languages or Dimasa or Tiwa language and give it to us. You, while preparing the book, you all should visit SCERT once, because the book should conform to the norms prescribed by this SCERT. So you should visit SCERT, discuss with the people of SCERT. They have already been directed, and together we should produce the books as early as possible, and we have enough fund. There shouldn't be any constraint of the books in tribal languages so far elementary education is concerned. Then I would like to request, there is also a demand for medium is being raised. But for your information, Bodo language is facing a problem, Manipuri language is facing a problem, even Assamese language is also facing a problem. The number of students appearing for HSLC every year in Assamese language is decreasing. We do not know the number. The number of students appearing HSLC in Bodo medium is decreasing by 2,000 every year. A few days back, I was in Kokrajhar and we discussed this issue with the Bodo organizations. They said it is a serious issue. The number of students in our Bodo medium schools are declining rapidly. Then again, say about a month ago, I was in Barak Valley, visited the Manipuri inhabited Lakshmipur area, and there I came to know, earlier there used to be around 3,000 students appearing SSLC in Manipuri medium. This year, the number is only 495. So earlier there used to be 2,000 to 3,000 students in SSLC in Manipuri language, and now they have just 500, below 500. So that means Manipuri students are shifting to English medium schools. English medium. So while demanding implementation of our tribal languages as a medium, I request you to study the situation of Boro language medium schools, the Manipuri language medium schools, even from Assamese medium schools, and take a concrete decision. So for the issue of introducing the Karbi language as a subject language, and whatever, it may be high school, it may be college, we do not have any objection, we do not have any issue. We will sit down and sort out a program. We will introduce Karbi medium, Karbi subject language at the colleges, in the high schools. This is not a big problem. Then coming to some other issues of say government college. Earlier the recruitment process of government college was conducted by Assam Public Service Commission, and we face lots of problems because APSC is very slow. In Anglong Golf College there is a vacancy of about 30 teachers, and we are unable to, although these are all sanctioned posts, yet we are unable to give appointments because APSC has not selected teachers. So in our cabinet we have already decided to take out all our teachers from APSC to a governing body. Earlier there is no governing body. In the provincial college there is a governing body, but in Difu government college there is no governing body. It is under the government. The principal is all in all, and the government decides. Again, government is restricted by the regulation that teachers will be selected by APSC. Now, in our last cabinet, we have decided that government colleges will have each governing body. So, Difu government college will have a governing body, and this governing body will select teachers, but cannot appoint. They will select. After selection of the teachers, the list will be sent to the state government. Our directorate will, the education department will give approval and appointment, because salary will be paid by the state government. So we are trying to streamline the government colleges, government department. So I cannot answer about the ITI. But so for our engineering colleges and polytechnic colleges also, we were facing similar type of problem of recruitment, because the faculties of engineering college and polytechnic were also under APSC. Now we have decided to constitute one Assam Engineering Service Recruitment Board under the Education Department, and this recruitment board will now recruit engineers for our line departments, then the faculties, teachers, assistants, professors of our engineering colleges, of our polytechnics. So this will shortcut, this will solve a long pending solution problem of our education system. Then coming to the vital issue of TET teachers, I do understand, feel that the hill people, not only the Karbi Anglong, but Assam also, we need a special TET examination. This is agreed. There is no debate. We all have agreed. We need a special TET examination for the hill tribes. Now the next question is, you are demanding that the council should be authorized. Now again, holding up teachers' TET examination, the guideline, it lies with National Council of Teacher Education. So it is the appropriate government, in their language, it is the appropriate government which will hold the TET examination. Now in case of state, the state government is the appropriate government. So if we want to empower the council to hold the special TET examination, we will have to go to Delhi and make amendment in the guideline of NCT. So therefore we have decided that Secondary Education Board of Assam, SEBA, will conduct the special TET for hill tribes in consultation with Karbi Anglong and Dima Assam Autonomous Council. So you have an education department in the council. So this education department and SEBA together, we will very soon we will hold the special TET examination. There is a large number of backlog. There is large number of backlog, and there is no teacher. So something we will have to do. Yet, so I found one Garo organization here, and some days back I was in Rabha Assam Autonomous Council, and Garo Sahitya Sabha, Garo Students Union, they met me. Because Garo medium is already there in existence. More than 100 Garo medium schools are there.